Police say the killer's name was Herbert Price. He was 29 years old when he grabbed Eve Wilkowitz on a dark street in Bayshore. The victim's sister finally saw his face today.
This is my first time seeing him. I didn't want to see the last face that Eve saw while she was still alive.
Irene Wilkowitz has never gotten over the murder of her older sister 42 years ago. Now she knows the name of the killer, Herbert Price. On March 22, 1980, 20-year-old Eve Wilkowitz took the last train home to Bayshore from Penn Station.
Here is the train station.
District Attorney Raymond Tierney showing the route Eve Wilkowitz should have taken to her apartment. Her body was found 3 days later.
We know that Mr. Rice would often spend time at the train station, frequently drinking. We stayed at 26 Center Avenue in Bayshore, which was about 4 or 5 houses away from where Eve's body was recovered.
Eve Wilkowitz, excited about a new job at Macmillan Publishing in Manhattan, had been raped and strangled.
Eve and all other murder victims are not just stories. She was a real person. I have her. She loved to go horseback riding.
In 1980, there was no science available to identify the killer.
Due to the technology at the time, no DNA profile was able to be obtained.
But Suffolk County homicide detectives returned to the cold case in 2000 when DNA science was improving 20 years later.
And this time they did come up with a result.
They had a profile, but nothing more. Nearly 20 more years went by before they had a chance to try new technology. Suffolk County's new police commissioner acknowledged his predecessor, Geraldine Hart, asked the FBI to scan genealogy sites where people try to find their ancestors and relatives by submitting DNA.
I think it's important that I acknowledge her role in this investigation.
There was a hit on one genealogy site, and Irene Wilkowitz learned the match from a distant relative eventually led to Herbert Price's son.
His family didn't know anything about it, so I feel badly for them as well.
On March 10, 2022, Suffolk County Police exhumed the skeletal remains of Herbert Price from his grave. He had died in 1991 at the age of 40, 11 years after the murder. On March 23rd, the Suffolk County Crime Lab obtained a DNA sample, and it was a match. Detectives then called Eve Wilkowitz's sister.
I've lived these past 42 years afraid all the time that I was going to be killed next. I always thought someone was just right around the corner coming after me, too.
The DA told us Herbert Price did not have a serious criminal record before the murder. He's done a little bit of jail time for petty theft. Eve was killed long before criminals were mandated to submit DNA samples for a state database. Corian Thompson.